Hey yo, salute to all my subscribers. Special shout out to everybody else passing through YouTube. What's good? Alright, so first and foremost, to all my subscribers, I want to apologize. It's been a few days since I have uploaded any content on my channel. I've been a little bit under the weather. Um, I know that I promised to stay consistent with the content. So, what I'm going to do now over the next few days, I'm going to push out a bunch of content that I've been holding on to, a bunch of new things to talk about on the channel. So, stay tuned for that. Now I want to do a weekly recap. Actually, I'm going to start a series, or not a series, but a new playlist where every week I'm going to recap a few things that maybe I will or haven't gotten the chance to touch on that are going on in like entertainment, social media, whatever. And then I'm going to have one of the panelists from the weekly roundtable discussions that we do on my platform as well as their platform now. We're going to do a few blogs a week about different things, and let us know what y'all think about that. Weekly recap. So in the past week, really the past few days, there have been a lot of different developments on different things, and some regular ratchet beef, social media, entertainment type stuff. So the first most notable thing is Amber Guyger, the off-duty Texas police officer who was involved in the shooting death of Botham John in his own apartment, and who was subsequently charged with manslaughter. Finally, after many outcries from the public as well as from the attorneys and the family of Botham John, Amber Guyger has now officially been fired. Long overdue, but again, as I've been following this case and as there have been many updates on my channel as well as so many other channels for all the other YouTubers, it still doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't go that far in giving people the peace of mind for a situation like this. So I'm going to keep following the case. We'll see what happens once this thing actually goes to trial. I know one of the big issues that I've had, as well as some of the other people who have been following this case have so far, is that because the lesser charge of manslaughter is what was charged to Amber Guyger, there's really only but so far this can go in the way of jail time if she's even convicted. So now that the victory of her being let go from from her position as a police officer, hopefully that will go a long way in helping the case for her shooting and killing Botham John, and hopefully the defense can't try and figure out a way to make this shooting justifiable somehow. So that happened in the last few days. Also, Katt Williams was at it again. Went at it with a radio talk host. And the funny thing is, I actually listened to that interview before it became a big thing on social media. And at the time, just like a lot of other YouTubers who I saw were commenting on this situation, I didn't feel like it was really that big a deal. I feel like that radio talk, Tiffany Smith, I think her name was, I feel like she kind of poked at Katt first, and then I feel like he just kind of went. I feel like they were going back and forth, and I really thought it was like a little mutual roast session. And then it seemed like the next day after that, or the day after that, it just blew up into this big thing, and that turned into a situation in front of the club that he was supposed to be performing at, and this radio talk host's husband flashed a gun at him, and that turned into a thing. But really, the most notable part was some of the things that he said during that rant, targeting people like Kevin Hart, again, Tiffany Haddish, a female comedian who is up under the Kevin Hart umbrella, who's going to be starring in the movie Night School that's scheduled to come out this weekend. I believe it's this weekend. And so they had some responses on the Breakfast Club. They kind of shot back at Katt Williams. So that was a little bit interesting. Katt Williams, it's been quite a while since he was really on anybody's radar as far as comedy goes. He really got his notoriety and his fame during the whole Friday After Next installment in the Friday franchise. And really, since then, it seems like he fell off, and then there's been incident after incident with him. So that was some recent news that happened in the past few days. Well, as far as celebrity news goes. And then the most notable, back in April on my podcast, actually on the Straight Talk No Chaser podcast with my cousin Tyrone Desperado, we covered the first a year leading up to that. We covered all the Bill Cosby allegations, and then we covered the trial and him being found guilty. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because back in April, when he was found guilty, I actually went on record as saying that even though he was found guilty, I didn't feel like he was actually ever going to do any jail time. Just because it's typically what you see with cases like these. Um, and, the he was finally sentenced yesterday, I believe it was, if not the day before, to 3 to 10 years in state prison. Now we know there's going to be an appeal. His attorney is already saying that, as well as his wife Camille are both saying that there were some things that they're uncovering that they will be able to prove to show that Bill Cosby was not given a fair trial, was not treated fairly, and some of his rights may have been impeded during this whole trial, this whole fiasco. So we'll see how that plays out over the next coming weeks and months. But yeah, officially sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison. What that typically means is, for most people who don't understand how the criminal justice system works, does not mean he's going to do 10 years in prison. More than likely, he'll probably do the 3 and then be released on some form of parole. He will have to register as a sex offender. But, I feel like at his age, the biggest thing he has to worry about is surviving this prison sentence. Um, I don't exactly know, as far as the appeal process goes, what happened. So I don't know, what the time period is if his lawyers do decide to file some kind of an appeal, some kind of a miscarriage of justice for this whole situation, how speedy the new trial will be. I think at this point you probably will end up serving those 3 years. If he doesn't, if there is some kind of special circumstances because of his failing health, because the concern is that he may not even live to complete that 3 year sentence because he's getting up there in age, his health is failing. So there may be something that comes down the pipeline in the next coming weeks and or months that may somehow get him out of serving those 3 years and maybe being confined to house arrest or something of that nature. But yeah, I was actually kind of surprised. I did not in any way, shape, or form think that he would actually get sentenced to jail time. I mean, I thought for sure, just because of the fact that he is a celebrity, high-powered attorney, long history in the public eye and charity works and all these different things. For certain celebrities, those things typically go a long way. And so, just based on those things, I thought for sure that he would probably get some kind of probation. I felt like he would have to register as a sex offender, but I just didn't think he would actually get sentenced to jail time. And if he did, I figured maybe some kind of a suspended sentence because of his age and his failing health. But it seems like they tried to make as much of an example out of him as they possibly could, being that these allegations in these cases were as old as they were. I feel like they didn't give him as much time as they probably would have liked to. But let me know what y'all think. Does there does the whatever evidence the attorney feels like they have to show that there was some kind of a miscarriage of justice, does that present a viable case for an appeal, and I don't know, potentially a new trial or maybe a total vacate of the original decision? What does this look like? Is Bill Cosby even healthy enough to serve out his 3 year sentence? Let me know what y'all think. More content coming. I plan to finish out the year strong. I got a lot of new series I want to introduce to the platform. We do have the roundtable discussions that are happening weekly, and I'm going to introduce some other new and exciting things for the platform. So continue to watch, follow, like, subscribe, share the videos. Let me know what y'all think about this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace and love.